Hello everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. I just wanted to come on and, address some things that have been involving me lately. And before I get into it, I know that everyone's going to want to rush and react to this video and give their hot takes and, garner their likes on, the situation. But I just please ask of you to please listen to the whole video and hear my side before, making your decision on how you feel about all of this. February 15th, I did something that, might be unforgivable to some people. Some people might not ever see why, I might have done something, but I did lead people to believe that I was in immediate danger. And this was not something that was a level-headed, clear-headed decision. It came from a place of me going through it. What I posted was basically a 3-second clip, crying for help. I was giving just a CC of, indicating that, something had happened to me or I was in danger. I tried to take it back as soon as I could. I tried to backtrack it. I tried to delete it. I tried to, but it kept getting deeper and deeper as, I am So let me just say, 90% of what you're reading online is not true. This video that I posted was definitely taken and ran with. I kind of, in that sense, took advantage of, that sense of over-familiarity that people tend to have with influencers or Black women in general. I kind of took that and I ran with it. It was definitely a cry for attention. It was desperate. It was wrong, might I add. It was disgusting, and I immediately regretted it because I deleted it 10 minutes later. And I knew it was wrong. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to come to you crying and, I'm not going to come to you crying or asking for forgiveness because I don't need your forgiveness. I don't need anyone's forgiveness. I just need to clear my name and say my part. I could have called it off then and there, which I tried to do, but it didn't really come off genuine. And this is a very serious situation. Again, it wasn't a lie because as a Black trans woman, I've been in these situations. I've been in, dangerous, the most dangerous situations with men. My interactions with men, my relationships with men are not the greatest, and they never have been. So it wasn't a lie per se, but it was definitely a delayed emotional response and also a cry for help, a cry for attention, a cry for reassurance. It wasn't thought through. There was no plan. No one was in on it. This was all me. This was all me, utilizing my social media in a way that, I felt was necessary in that time. I'm very impulsive. I'm very, I have a lot of things that I need to work through. And that wasn't the best way for me to go about getting the attention that I felt that I needed in that moment. And I know that, and I'm genuinely sorry. Who I do want to apologize to mostly are Black trans women. I want to apologize to the girls because this is going to fall down mostly. I know this affects mostly Black trans femmes, and despite what anyone might say, Black trans women deserve money. We deserve funds. We deserve to live lives where we have our resources. We deserve to not be afraid to leave our houses, and we deserve to thrive. I know that Black trans women deserve to thrive, so much so that I went online and I created a ploy because I knew that was the only way that people would care. I was getting the money, but I'm still heavily dysphoric. I'm still at war with all of these things in my life. I'm 21, turned away by my family. I'm going to get more into this. Turned away by my family, alone, always thinking, hyper-analyzing everything, trying to figure out how I'm going to make it from point A to point B. And being on survival mode since you're 16, you don't develop the best habits. You don't develop the best social skills. You don't develop the best ways of being loved. You don't develop those kinds of things. You know, coming from what I came from and seeing what I've seen in this lifetime, you're not going to be all the way there, and you're going to do things that people don't agree with. You're going to have coping mechanisms that just seem very, very bizarre to other people, and I understand that now. So it was not just a ploy for my GoFundMe per se, but it was also just, I wanted to feel loved in that moment, you know? I wanted to feel like I was needed. I wanted to see what people would do or react if they knew, if they were led to believe that I was in danger, you know, at that very moment. You know, the video was deleted 10 minutes after I posted it because I immediately regretted it, and I knew that it was wrong. Again, I never said that I was kidnapped. It was literally just me listing off a CC of, you know, an ex-partner who I had that, you know, still to this day, still kind of traumatizes me. But still to this day, I don't, listing off a CC of someone who actually had put me in danger before, someone who had actually put me in immediate danger. And this was sort of a delayed emotional response, if anything. What I posted on the 15th was unnecessary. It did not need it to be, I did not need to do that. It did not need to be taken that far. And I sincerely, deeply apologize. All of the Black people who were front lines talking to police officers, trying to find me, I did not mean for it to go that far. And I would never, ever put Black people in harm's way intentionally. And it was a really, really disgusting thing on my end to do, and it didn't have to go that far. I didn't have to let it go that far. And I'm sincerely sorry and very, very thankful for those people that, you know, took time out of their It's like a helicopter. It's like a helicopter. Took time, you know, took time out of their days, took time out of their nights, and was out there looking for me. I genuinely do appreciate, and you are very, very loved. I don't come to you today, you know, teary-eyed or sad or begging or pleading for, you know, everyone to forgive me, because forgiveness isn't always earned, and I know that. I spent enough time crying and stressing and being anxious about this, and it's time for me to be the woman that I know I can be on the inside, and the woman that I know that I am on the inside, and own up to this and come to you and be like, this is how it is. You know, that was wrong, and I can admit that. So doing this is actually closure for me, if anything. Doing this makes me feel better. Opening up, discussing my thought process, because I'm not used to discussing, you know, my feelings. I don't open up to these. I don't have people around me on a daily basis. You know, I've been so self-sufficient since I was 16. I've been thinking about how I'm going to survive since I was 16. You know, when you're in survival mode, it's kind of hard to see anything else or consider anyone else's feelings when it's always just been about getting yourself to where you need to be. And that's kind of where I got caught up in. I didn't think of the repercussions when I posted this. I didn't think of who might it affect, because I was thinking about me in that moment. And this was really a wake-up call, because now I see, this is really a wake-up call for me, because I wasn't thinking about the repercussions. You know, I wasn't thinking about who else this might affect. I was thinking about me, and I can say that and own up to that and say that that was not right, and that was not the right way for me to go about this at all. And I am sincerely sorry. But however, I'm so grateful and thankful for the Black people who went out there on the front lines, talked to police officers, all of that. It went very, very far, and I know that, and I feel disgusting. I do feel bad about it, and that was not the right way to go about it. There are other, you know, things coming out about, first and foremost, why I did it, which I kind of just explained, but also people are saying that I'm a GoFundMe scammer. And this is what really kind of, you know, fucks with me the most, because nothing I ever said about my life or where I've come from was a lie. You know, I've never lied about what I go through. I am a transgender woman. You know, I am a Black transgender woman who has no health insurance. I don't have family. I'm just now rekindling relationship with not even my immediate family, but my family that I was taken away from and estranged when I was a child. Ever since I was a child, I was estranged from this family, right? Ever since I was a child, I was pretty much estranged from this family, and I'm just now rekindling that with them. And so for people to say that I'm a scammer, really just bothers me the most. People are saying that I did this solely to boost traction for my GoFundMe, which, you know, in my subconscious was definitely there, was definitely a thought of mine, because like I said, when I'm so adamant on thinking about me and how I'm going to survive and get from point A to point B, it does get really hard. And this is something I need to work on. It does get really hard to consider other people's feelings and how other people might perceive my actions and how my actions do, despite how much I will like to pretend they don't affect others. And when people say that we're scamming, I think that's a very, very harmful thing. It was very harmful of me to do this. I do take complete and full accountability. But I've never lied about my transition. I've never lied. I've always been so transparent about where the money is going. I've had many successful crowdfunds, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm not ashamed of that. I don't hide that. Trans women, Black trans women specifically, deserve money. Black women deserve money. Black people deserve money. I would never ever apologize for asking for money, and no other Black person should either, especially if you have, you know, a following. Black people deserve money. There's nothing wrong with Black people accumulating wealth, as long as they're redistributing it when need be. And there's nothing wrong with Black people receiving money. I would never ever see anything wrong with that. However, I'm not the same person I was fucking 1 year ago. You know, that money, it's all here. You know, it's all went into me. You know, it's all went into my confidence. 1 year ago, I couldn't even come online and talk to people. Where are there helicopters? There are literal helicopters, and I'm scared. 1 year ago, I couldn't even come online and talk. I hated myself that much. I hated myself that much. I thought I was ugly. I thought I looked like a man. I thought I was disgusting. I thought I was unworthy of love. All of these things that were ingrained into my system, you know, ingrained into my soul, ingrained into the way that I interacted and saw the world. And for people to question where the money went in the first place, I think is really, really violent. But I understand, and me, you know, this situation doesn't make that any better, and I understand why people would question me. But for anyone, for the record, all of the money that I made from my first 2 GoFundMes were used on rent, were used on moving out, getting my apartment. Girl, living is expensive. GoFundMe takes fees out, and I would say within my first 2 GoFundMes, at most, I raised maybe $15,000. And that money went to rent. That money went to living my life. That money went to getting my hair done. That money went to my nails. That money went to my earrings. That money went to, you know, my lip gloss. You know, that money went to things that make me feel better about myself. You know, I never lied about needing the money for that. I never had these things growing up. I'm just now getting into, you know, expressing my femininity the way that I can because of the GoFundMes. So I don't apologize for making GoFundMes. And I think what hurts me the most probably is people saying that I'm a scammer because of that. Like, yes, I have done this as a pretty messy example of something that can probably be perceived as me just wanting traction, but to say that it's a scam is a really strong word, and that's why I also feel the need to come on and just clear my name of that and clear every Black trans woman's name, because we don't need to scam. We just want to live our lives. We want to be able to live freely and truly as we are and not have to worry about shit. And we deserve that because we're human beings just like everyone else. And we have our faults and we have our imperfections. And I'm not denying that. I've never ever gotten online and said that I was a perfect poly. I've never ever gotten online and said that I did nothing wrong or that I didn't have problematic opinions. So when people, when all of this other shit is coming out, you know, shit that a lot of it is false, might I add, it doesn't feel good. You know, it doesn't feel good. I've been alone these past 4 days. I don't have people around me on a day-to-day basis. I don't have people in my business on a day-to-day basis. I don't tell people what I'm feeling most of the time. You know, I keep that shit in. And, you know, when you tend to live in a way that you don't really let anyone see the real you, it can get messy. This is something that I'm just realizing. You know, I'm still processing my trauma. I'm just, you know, getting into a place in my life where I can realize what's wrong with me and what needs to be fixed and why I react to things the way I do. You know, there's not many girls like me. There's not many, you know, visibly trans Black women who are online, you know, posting photos of themselves and being called beautiful and getting all of these sorts of accolades and attention based solely upon their physical beauty. And, you know, taking into account that and also all of my other self-internalized issues, I'm constantly at war with myself. I'm constantly, you know, degrading myself. I'm constantly putting myself down and thinking about what I need to do next to become better, or this more fishier woman, or this more beautiful woman. And what I'm trying to say, I guess, is I'm not all the way there, you know, and right now I'm 21 years old. I'm just now getting into a place where I can process, you know, my trauma and why I do the things that I do, or why I've took certain stances on things. And this clip was posted out of, it was a desperate cry for attention. This clip was posted out of pure attention, you know, pure validation. I needed that reassurance to, obviously when I posted the initial post, you know, I wasn't in the right headspace. Do you think I thought of the repercussions when I was posting that video? Do you think that I would have done that if it would have been so dysphoria and anxiety inducing for me? No, I wouldn't. I was not in the right headspace. And that does not make it an excuse, but I'm also kind of opening up and telling you why the thought process behind why I did what I did. So I just have to come on there and just say that. Things that people are saying that for years. They've been trying to expose me, and I just don't understand that, because right now I'm a 21-year-old woman still coming into herself. So things that I've done in high school, you know, coming back now to bite me per se, is really shitty, because like I said, I'm not the same person I was a year ago. These GoFundMes literally helped me form who I am and find out who I am, which I'm still doing today. You know, I'm still trying to find who I am. I'm still trying to find what I want, what exactly it is that I need. I'm still trying to find people to love me. I'm still trying to find that love that I severely lacked, you know, coming into myself. 1 year ago, I was unhappy living in a basement because my mom didn't want me to have a room. You know, 1 year ago, I was scraping up money trying to buy a meal. You know, 1 year ago, I was sleeping on a futon in a basement with no closet and no clothes. You know, 1 year ago, I was asking my mother if she would refer to me as she, her pronouns, and her telling me that I would never be a woman and that she won't call me that. You know, 1 year ago, I was not this person. So all of this shit coming up to bite me is really embarrassing and really, really sad. And I've cried about it, and maybe it's what I deserve, I'm not sure, but I am dealing with this too. And I'm dealing with the repercussions of this too. And now here I am having the freedom to, you know, kind of open up and talk about it. 1 year ago, I was too embarrassed to even show my face on camera. This had nothing to do, no one else was involved. This was me. Like I said, day to day, I don't talk to a lot of people. You know, I don't have a lot of people near and dear to me. Most of the people that were blowing up and gaining traction from all these tweets, I don't even know or associate with on a daily basis. Like I said, the video that I posted was taken and ran with, and everyone was making up their own stories, and, you know, I let it get a little too far. I wholeheartedly will say that. Hand to the Bible, I will say that. However, a lot of this was just speculation, and I'm just here to set the record straight. Please stop harassing people that were just trying to help me during this time. Please stop. It had nothing to do with anyone else. but me. I take full responsibility. It's always just been me. Like I said from the beginning, I've always been so self-sufficient and so, self-destructive, even in a sense. And I'm not denying that. I have my imperfections and I'm young. I still have time to work on them. I still have time to recover and become the woman that I see myself being. So I just want to just disclaim that, because this had nothing to do with anyone else but me. It was completely my decision. It was completely my own crazy thought process that came to this conclusion. But it's no one else but me. So I just want to say that. People that have personal vendettas against me are coming back and biting me and taking it out on me now. And I understand that, because I used to be the same way. I used to be on Twitter endlessly dragging people. What's the next drama? What's the next tea? And I understand that. But I'm just here to set the record straight and, kind of clear myself, because a lot of the things that are being said are lies and I don't deserve that. So one of the most funniest accusations to me is probably the drug addict thing. I'm not a drug addict. Even if I were, I don't think that it would correlate in any way to this situation or for what I'm in the hot seat. I don't think that should even have any bearing on my character. Addiction is very serious and it's a mental illness. And I don't think that that should be thrown in anyone's face. But for the record, no, I'm not on drugs. I do smoke weed. That's about it though. This money was not being spent on drugs. Like I said, this money was being spent on me and my transition, my hormones, makeup, clothes. Anyone who knows me knows that I love clothes. I love beautiful things. And I'm not denying that. Like, I deserve beautiful things. Black women, Black trans women deserve beautiful things. We deserve luxury. We deserve these things. And if I want to go online and ask people who follow me for no other reason other than my external beauty, I can do that, and I shouldn't be criticized for that. And yeah, so there's that. Another thing that's coming up are people saying, well, of course people are saying I'm a terrible person, all of that, which are warranted. Again, none of these people really know me, so I can't, really take any of this to heart that much about, the accusation that people are making up. But what else are people saying? Like, one second. First of all, let me say this is all very dysphoria inducing for me and all very, it saddens me, this is all very sad for me. I saw, I couldn't even read most of the things that people are saying, but people are posting old photos of me. People are posting photos of me where I couldn't even recognize myself. People are posting, another thing I want to address was my Finsta. Any screenshots that you saw from my Finsta were true. My Finsta is not a very good place. It's kind of a place where I spill all of my mentally ill thoughts in digital print, I guess. I don't think that there are. If you look through my Finsta right now, yes, there are millions of things on there that are cancelable. Me self-deprecating, me saying horrible things about myself and other people. Yes, I'm not denying that. I never denied to be a perfect poly. I'm a human too. I suffer with my own internalized issues. I suffer with self-hatred. All of these things, my Finsta is not gonna be perfection, And my Finsta, I've had it for maybe 4 years. I've had it since I was 16 and it's bad. Yeah, I will admit that. I even look through it now and can't even fathom being that person anymore, because I sincerely am not that person. I do still, of course, struggle with the same mental health issues, and I'm more self-aware of what I need to work on and getting better at that every day. But my Finsta is definitely a place where I go to spill my thoughts, talk about things, and it's not going to be for everyone's consumption, because it's not for anyone's consumption. It's for my consumption. It's my Finsta. My Finsta isn't advertised to anyone. And, it's not for anyone but me. So I'm not sure why that's being brought up, but people are saying that they've been trying to expose me for years. And what I don't understand about that is that if you knew that I was such a horrible person, and if you knew that I was insane, and if you knew all these things, why is it just now coming up when it's popular and when you can jump on the bandwagon? You just don't think trans women are deserving. And a lot of this comes from a place, I think a lot of this comes from a place of, people unleashing their internalized transphobia. And even I have my own internalized transphobia. I have my own internalized self-hatred. I have my own shit that I'm dealing with, and sometimes I do tend to project that onto others. I'm not denying that. So it's for people to say it's a gotcha or an expose moment. It's just not the serve that I don't that you think it is. I should be under the hot seat for leading people to believe that I was in immediate danger, for having Black people go out on the line and talk to these fucking white pigs. I should be on the hot seat for that, I should be on the hot seat for that, and I deserve that. I deserve to be held accountable. I am here talking to you because I deserve to be held accountable. I did say shitty things about people on my Finsta years ago. I did say mean things. I might have talked about someone's wig, or I might have, called a bitch ugly or fat. Yeah, I have done those things, and today I wouldn't, because a year ago, like I said, just even a year ago, I was very, very unhappy. I was very, very unaware of how angry and how hurt and traumatized that I was, by way of this world. And that's kind of leaking into my early adult life. Like I said, I'm 21 years old, and me taking accountability, I think, is the first step for me to find sanctuary and for me to get better. I think this is a learning lesson for me, mostly because I feel good making this video right now. I do feel good putting this out there and, not hiding any part of who I am anymore. Making this video and addressing it takes a weight off my shoulders, because I don't think you guys understand. I spent days, crying about this. I couldn't even pick up my phone. I didn't talk to anyone. I shut everyone out. I was disgusted with myself, with the decisions that I made. You don't think every day I wake up and I think about, okay, girl, how can you get better? How can you become a better person? On a day-to-day basis, I don't have people around me. I don't have many friends. I don't have close friends. I don't have people who I tell everything to. A lot of my issues are internalized. Like I said, a lot of them are internalized, which is why when they do spill out and when they do become open to the public, like this situation here, people are in shock. People are, upset, because this is all things that I deal with on the inside. And when they happen to just bleed out into the open, into the public, it's not pretty. I wouldn't say that I faked a kidnapping, because I never said that I was kidnapped. I never said that, I was being held captive. I did allude to that and everyone then inferred it. But like I said, it was just a desperate need, a desperate ploy for attention, for reassurance. I wanted to feel loved, and in a way that sort of weird, reassurance is kind of validating to me in a sense. And, that's something I need to work on as well. Also, full disclaimer, the money from my FFS GoFundMe is not in my possession. GoFundMe has been giving me the runaround since all this happened. Even before it came out as being coerced or whatever, people started reporting my GoFundMe pretty much as soon as they thought I was in danger, because there's a huge chunk of people that doubted me from the beginning. And, and there's a lot of people using this as a gotcha moment, and that's just something that I have to deal with. And that's just something that, all I can do is apologize for and ask for forgiveness. And Twitter is not the only people that I need to be, answering to at this moment. I feel like I need to be answering to my ancestors, God above anything, my family, that I've been estranged from, that I've been so brutally pushing away lately. All of that, Twitter is not my first priority, but I didn't want to leave anyone in the dark, and I can wholeheartedly come on here and admit my mistakes I do need money for transition. You know, I do want facial feminization surgery. I do want, you know, gender affirming surgeries. I do. And, you know, ultimately, that is what led me to doing what I did, you know? And it wasn't the right way, obviously. It wasn't thought through. It wasn't this whole elaborate plan. It was just me leaking out some of that internalized, you know, toxicity that I have on the inside. And it leaked out into the public, and I'm reaping the repercussions of that. And I understand that. And I can't be sad about it anymore. You know, I can't be scared or anxious, because at the end of the day, I'm so transparent that I can come on and let everyone know what's up. I've been getting harassed for the past week. I'm called a scamming ass bitch. People telling me to kill myself. People posting old photos of me and calling me a man. People saying that they're looking for me. I'm scared to leave my house. You know, I'm dealing with all of this shit. And these are things that I have to deal with, but I am a strong woman. So I'm getting through it. You know, everyone's making up their own story. Of course, it doesn't make sense. The gaps aren't filled in because I don't want them to be, and they don't need to be. What everyone needs to know is that, you know, I'm safe. I'm completely safe. And what I did was a desperate for her attention. What I posted was obviously not me in my most, you know, sane mental state. And I know that, and I can come on camera and say that. That was disgusting. That was gross. That was wrong. And that doesn't look good on Black trans women. And once again, Black trans women deserve money. You know, despite anything that might have happened, despite this whole situation, Black women deserve money. Black women deserve reparations. Black women deserve luxury. Black women deserve literally everything on this planet. This should not hinder that. And this should not make anyone withdraw their support. If you want to withdraw your support from me, by all means, please do what you need to do. I've only been on hormones for, about 8 months. So, you know, my body's still kind of adjusting to that. And I've been battling internally for a long time, my whole life, I'd say. And this is not an excuse for anything, but it's literally just me giving you insight on why I did what I did and my thought process behind literally everything that I do. I'd just like to address the fact that everyone's coming for, you know, certain people who were very actively involved in this, even though I'm not sure why, but those people had nothing to do with this. There was no scam involved with anyone. Those people were just trying to help, even though I wouldn't say that they're my close friends. I wouldn't say that I talk to these people on a day-to-day basis, because then again, I don't talk to anyone on a day-to-day basis, you know, like I'm very, very much to myself a lot of the time. So that's what really irks me when people are like, oh, it's a scam. There's nothing to scam about. I'm very transparent about where the money is going. But it was more of I'm so close to my goal. I'm so close to victory. I can taste it. I'm dysphoric. I hate myself. I hate my body. I hate my body. I'm dysphoric. People only care about trans women. You know, all of these things that, you know, I believe myself. You know, all of these things that, you know, I learned myself, all these things that I think in my head, you know, tend to get projected onto people around me. I kind of see this as a relief. In a way, I have to be honest with you guys, I see this as a relief. I see this as a perfect opportunity to take a step back and go out into the world and find myself and find what I want to do and how I want my impact to be seen on others. And I'm not gonna lie, social media was becoming a means of survival for me. Social media was becoming a job, you know? I was becoming a model, you know? I don't want to do those things. You know, I don't want to do those things. I'm a very smart, educated young woman, and when social media becomes a job and my beauty and my face becomes a whole thing and I'm profiting off of just being pretty, it gets messy. It's gonna get messy, and I can get a bit self-destructive, and I can come here and say that. I can come on here and wholeheartedly admit what I did was wrong. What I did, I deserve all of the repercussions. I deserve, you know, my money taken away from me. I deserve, you know, all of the backlash. However, I don't think that I deserve to be misgendered, called the wrong name, called a bitch, harassed, scared to leave my apartment. These are things that I'm all dealing with, you know? So it's not going unnoticed. You know, I'm not going untouched. You know, I know people are thinking that I have it, oh, I took my $60K and I left, I dipped. it's not that way. You know, I'm still battling a lot of things, obviously, hence why I would even, you know, let people worry about me like this in the first place. But the money has been refunded, and you know, I'm happy for that. You know, I hope everyone gets their money back. I'm so sorry for, you know, misleading and, you know, doing a little stunt like this. It was not at all in my character to do that, which is why I'm online here owning up to it. And that's all I can say. I do have plans to not be on social media as much anymore at all, actually. I actually have rekindled with my family recently. I'm not going to say where, but I'm safe with my family and I'm working on myself. I'm going back to school. I'm doing things that are fulfilling to me, and I have room to grow. I have room to prosper. I just want to just prioritize Black women in this time and, you know, really make this an apology to them first and foremost. I know that I've seen a lot of white women getting in on it. I don't know where that's coming from, but Black women and Black trans femmes, I'm so first and foremost sorry to you guys for, you know, in a sense, letting the community down and being so selfish and, you know, doing something that I didn't even think of the effects of, you know, other girls like me. So I do wholeheartedly apologize and take full accountability for doing something so selfish. I know I'll recover from this. I'll be fine. I'm a pretty girl, you know, despite all of that. I like to think, at least, that I'm a beautiful, smart, eloquent woman, and I'll make it, you know? This is, if anything, this is a relief because now I can finally take this up as an opportunity to get better and you know, start to live for me and only me and not through the lens of social media and not through the lens of... If you've watched this far, I just want to thank you for hearing my side. If you want to forgive me, I appreciate you, and if you don't want to forgive me, then I'm so sorry that I let you down or disappointed you. I just wanted to say my piece and make it clear that I am sorry, and it was never malicious intent. I never meant to hurt anyone, and I've never meant for it to go this far. And as, you know, a Black woman and a real bitch, you know, I am going to say that. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope this is received well, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.